Those kids have done more for me than I've done for them. They've changed my life. They've made me into a different person. In early 1990s, my wife and I made a visit to one of the local orphanages, and that's the first time we had met those kids. And I'll be honest with you, the first time I met them, it was very overwhelming. I even cried, because I felt like, what can we do to help them? And it was a year later that we actually brought one of the kids home from the orphanage and adopted her. That was our fourth daughter, Esther. And I remember after we adopted Esther, we kept thinking, what about those kids in her orphanage, the ones that won't get adopted? And that was back in 1992, so there were only about 15 or 20 kids being adopted that year internationally. Well, first of all, they don't have a family, and then they have special need too. What possible life could they have, these kids, But when somebody takes it upon themselves to love them and care for them and cherish them and put value to their lives, it's contagious. Other people will also do that. The following spring, we left our teaching jobs, we quit our teaching jobs, we moved out to the countryside of Beijing, out in Langfang, and we started doing full-time orphanage work. We started going to those orphanages, helping those kids. We would buy washing machines or blankets or medicine or milk powder, food, whatever they needed. We would try to find it or find resources to get it for them. And but still, I felt like we really weren't making a big enough impact on children's lives. And so it was in 1999, 4 years later, that we started doing the foster home. A Chinese businessman asked, if there's ever anything I can do to help you, please let me know. Well, he owned a bunch of houses, and they were empty. I said, you could give us one of those empty houses. He said, really? You want an empty house? He said, okay, I'm going to give you an empty house that you can use to help those kids. So he gave us a house. We fixed it up, brought kids home from the orphanage. We took care of them. They got healthy. They got adopted. And then when that businessman saw the good thing that was happening there, he gave us a second house. Then he gave us a third house. Pretty soon we ended up with 5 houses. And we had more than 80 kids that we were taking care of. See, it just kept growing and growing and growing. And then in 2002, we outgrew that facility and we needed a bigger place. So we came here and we got this land. And the local government said they wanted to help us, so they gave us the land for 1 kwai, ikwai-chen. We had a little boy who needed surgery on his back. He had polio as a kid. So he developed severe scoliosis. His back was shaped like an S. And so he needed surgery to save his life. He was 16 years old last January when we got him to surgery down in Tianjin. And that surgery, even in China, still costs $40,000 US. We raised it just with social media sites. We just put the word out there that this little boy, Ho Tong, needs this life-changing surgery. Can you help? People responded. Within 2 weeks, we had all the money. I think the biggest challenge now is that we're facing is building our new school. We're building a vocational training school to help those older orphans, the ones who won't get adopted, those kids who turn 14 and no longer are adoptable, the ones who have special needs. And typically, when they turn 15 or 16, they get sent to an adult institution somewhere. Those are the kids we really want to target. We want to bring them here. We want to teach them life skills, give them job skills, teach them how to deal with their special need, how to equip them with tools to learn how to help themselves. And then seeing those kids get adopted, of course, that's the best thing. It's a sad thing too, because you get really connected with those kids, and then later they leave. So it's a little sad, but it's still a happy day too, because you want them to have a family. Shepherd's Field is a good place. Don't get me wrong. I think what we provide for them is a good thing. But there's something better out there too. There's a home is better than this place could be.